Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I welcome you for an extremely special episode to my heart. Today we have my best friend in the whole wide world, my Marine brother in Christ, Logan Hable, the Gen X Marine. Welcome to the pod, brother.
No, Gen Z.
Thank you.
Gen Z. Dude, I've been fucking this up all day.
Gen
Explain
X is
them
like
to me, please.
Gen X would
I'm
be
a little
like
lost in
my
this also.
parents, our parents.
Yeah, I
Like
just looked
40s,
this,
50s?
I just looked this up of when millennials ended and Gen Z started.
Yeah,
Dude, I didn't even realize that Gen Z is like 1996.
Good God.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
either.
I think Gen Z started in 97 and millennials ended in 96.
Yeah,
And I was like,
okay.
I thought it was like at the turn of the century.
Yeah, because I'm right at the tail end of the millennials.
Yeah, I was thinking that I was like the beginning of the Gen Zs. Like my people are the ones who fucked the world up, but like they were dicking the dog like 5 years before I was born. Like,
Yeah.
It's not my fault.
Isn't
So
Gen Z like super huge too? Doesn't it go to like 2010 or something?
Like,
Yeah,
let's go for a long
it is.
time.
Yeah, it's a huge. Well,
Yeah.
I guess they all are. They're all
Okay,
big
yeah.
generations. Because I mean, I know a lot of like older millennials that I'm like, there's no, you're not a millennial.
Oh yeah,
You don't even
millennials
have
way
social
back into
media,
the
dude.
80s,
Yeah.
dude.
Hable, you're the only Gen Z Marine that I know for sure, but maybe the only Gen Z person I know in the military.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance that
I
there's
just-
not many.
I read a
anymore.
statistic that said only 12% of eligible Gen Z is even willing to be in the military.
Yeah.
When you were in service, how big was the spread between people that were similar age to you to older people?
It was actually pretty close.
Really?
There's easily hundreds of people that were 18 also like joining at the same time that I was.
I don't think
went
a
up
lot of
to
old
Duluth.
heads really go in.
I
do they?
suppose, yeah, because like okay, so when you're joining, let's say like at what do they call that?
The
The recruiting
RSS.
office?
No, when you're like, what's the thing you got to go through before you go into the military?
Oh, like RJC
like
or
training
whatever
camp.
it's called.
Like, what's the training
Boot
camp?
camp?
What all the
Boot
nerd
camp.
kids do.
Oh,
Boot camp, dude. We're not
Okay.
talking
Okay.
about ROTC.
I would
kids.
assume
We're not talking
that-
about stinky kids, dude.
I would assume that everyone in boot camp mostly is younger.
Oh, everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
But there is always a few stragglers because you can join all the way up till I want to say you're 27.
Oh,
Yeah.
So-
fuck.
I missed it.
Yeah, you missed all.
I missed it.
But I want to say there'll be like, so like the boot camp class, like 100 people or whatever for like your platoon,
How many people make it through?
probably 80. I mean 70,
Oh,
somewhere around there.
I mean, it's not that fucking cutthroat, is it? Like, it's not like people
No.
are dropping like flies.
No, it's just
I
basically
think-
getting yelled at, spit in your face, and that's
Do you
about-
weed
the
out
extent
the
of it.
week early? Like, do people
Oh,
leave
yeah.
pretty quickly, and then not many people leave once you get into the shits?
Well, there's different type of people, I guess. Like there's people that get injured. Like say if you break your ankle and you have to wait 6 months. It's either you wait 6 months in boot camp, you can't leave, or else you have to restart. And you could be halfway through it, break your ankle, and you got to wait 5 months just sitting in
While
this
you're
fucking-
there.
Oh yeah, and,
And
you're
then
still just getting
and then
treated like shit.
resume when you're done.
And then start at week 5.
When you're actually in boot camp, what are you doing when you're not like doing the obstacle
on,
course?
before
you
we,
are
like, before
trying
we-
not to get noticed.
Before we dive into that as hard, is like say you start with 100, say you end with 75. Is that more like self-policed by the other like boot camp kids, or is it
Oh.
like
You're
the-
getting bullied out of here.
Yeah. 'Cause
Not
that's
re-
how I feel like when I went to line school, dude. Our teacher maybe
You
kicked
are
out, like-
not going to compare line school to boot camp.
Absolutely, you are.
Oh my god!
What do you mean?
You are not running through obstacle courses and shit.
That's literally all it is.
You guys
That's
are
what line school
you guys
is.
are fucking going through tires and shit.
You climb fucking 60 poles in a day and tell me you're not absolutely shot at the end of it. That's
Oh
literally
my
what it is.
God.
That's what the first 2 weeks of it is literally that's all it is only physical exercise. Drop down and tie 20 wires for me. All right. Before dumb fuck interrupted me, dude, I was saying it was way more self-policed by the kids that were there that were like, this guy sucks at what he's doing. Like we like not bullied him out, but like very much there's outcasts immediately.
Picking on
Oh,
the private
yeah,
piles.
totally.
There's definitely like outcast, but it's more like it is all mental. It's barely physical at all. Like yeah, there's a couple physical tests or whatever, but it is all mental. You're just getting fucking screamed at. You're trying to be a fucking ghost in the corner. You just
Yeah.
the less you are noticed, the significantly better time you're gonna have.
Well, it's all psychological. They're trying
Oh,
to
yeah.
break you. They want to make you a machine.
Well, like the first day you're there, you get thrown into these fucking like beds, and then you don't sleep that first night, and it just kind of sets the tempo, and then you're just fucked.
You see in movies and whatnot, like they'll wake you up at
Oh, yeah.
random times, be like, all right, everyone make your bed.
Well, no, that
Let's
does
go.
happen. That actually sucks. That's
And they'll
not
just
fun.
randomly come in there, turn on the lights, and like,
Oh, yeah.
everyone, let's go.
Oh yeah.
What are you doing when you're not like training or whatever? Like, do you have jobs? Are you like cleaning? What are you
In
doing?
boot camp?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just cleaning. You are the drill sergeant's bitch, basically. You're doing whatever the fuck they don't want to do. You're cleaning. You're fucking
Doing laundry.
laundry. You got to do kind of on your own time,
Okay.
and you got to do it in the middle of the night because that's the time you got. You're just basically their bitch. You're gonna be scrubbing showers. You're gonna be fucking doing whatever the fuck they want. It sucks.
That does sound like it sucks, honestly.
So one thing that I was thinking about leading into this episode is, can you walk us through the night before? Because I'm sure were you with your family when you got sent off to boot camp?
Yeah, so how it worked for me is I had to drive up to, well, I didn't drive. My parents dropped me off. I went to Duluth RSS,
Sure.
and my parents drove me up there. Then you meet up with the recruiter, and then they drive you down to Minneapolis, which I was like, well, why the fuck do I have to go up to Duluth? This sucks. I have to wait an extra 3 hours to go. This is, fuck this. And then you go down, you go to Duluth, or Minneapolis, and then you got to do all your swearing in shit, like,
Put your hand on the book and
yeah, and then you got like 30, 18-year-olds sitting there with their hand up, fucking just swearing something that, hey, I'm going to do this for 4 years. This is going to suck.
So
And then after that, you say goodbye to your parents, and then you go take a flight to wherever you're going to boot camp. So like the Navy goes somewhere. I went to San Diego.
So you already knew I want to do the Marines.
Yeah.
You get pre-picked and sent to different boot camps based on where you want to enlist.
Yeah, so
You can
it's
only
whatever
enlist,
RSS,
it's only
you
wherever
enlist.
you enlist at. You don't enlist in like the military and then they're like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be a Marine.
See, I thought part of it was that you
No.
can't choose.
no,
Unless
definitely
you
choose,
qualify.
dude.
they,
Okay, I
they
didn't
look
know.
at Cody, they're like,
Dude, I thought it was like
Navy.
Coast Guard.
I thought it was like some sort of sorting hat from Harry Potter. You put your name on a piece of paper and it tells you where you're going.
No, it's like physical
badass,
qualifications. And like you got to take the ASVAB, and it's wherever you can get in. That's where you choose.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So there is some sort of a sorting. Like,
Yeah,
I know you want to be a Marine, but listen, dude, like,
this is gonna suck.
you're kind of
yeah.
dumb as a box of rocks.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're gonna put you maybe.
You're gonna clean
somewhere else.
trash. Yeah.
So I guess to kind of round to my question, your last night of like not at boot camp, like your last night at home, when you're laying there, knowing you're gonna wake up and your whole life is gonna change from the next moment on, like what were you thinking that last night? Like, holy fuck, dude, this is gonna be crazy.
Dude, honestly, this is gonna sound a little odd, but it was like one of my first times in a hotel because you have to sleep in a hotel, then they fly you to wherever. I was like, oh, dude, this is fucking sick. I can order room service. Like, I wasn't even thinking of it at all. It was like the last thought of my mind. And then you just show up, and it's like, oh, dude, what the fuck am I doing? This sucks. And we had two buddies go before me, and I'm like, well, I can't fucking leave because I'm gonna look like a pussy.
Yeah.
I have to stick this out. Like, I really don't want to do this. This sucks. And then I just kind of stuck it out. And now here we are.
Yeah.
You know?
That is
Right.
nice that you had two close friends enlist at the same time. So it's
Yep.
like, I'm not gonna be the fucking one that
Were,
backs
dude,
up.
I
were
feel
they
like-
also going for Marines?
Yep.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
got to be the heaviest weight of the whole thing. Is like, I don't want to quit because I don't look like a bitch. Like, it has nothing to do with like, are you actually able to do it? It's just like, I don't want to look like a pussy. So I'm
Oh,
not.
yeah.
Like, I
Well-
get that this sucks, but I'm a fucking.
I can't be that person.
Yeah, you can't be that
We had
guy.
like 3 going away parties for him before
Yeah.
he went, just fucking getting ready for it.
Oh.
If he'd have came home,
Came back 2 weeks later, dude. Wait, he sure as shit with me on the podcast right now. I would never
no.
talk to this loser again.
I'd be sitting there just like a hermit in my room, just fucking scared.
Dude,
So-
I couldn't imagine that feeling.
So you get
Oh, yeah.
through basic and everything went pretty well for you, I'd assume. And you mentioned this test you have to take before you actually are in basic that kind of helps sort where you're gonna be. In your story of you taking your test is one of my favorites, and I would just love to hear it on the pod because it just cracks me up every time.
So before you go, you have to take an ASVAB, if you guys know what that is. And it's just basically to test if you're like a retard or not. You know, like it is just a common
is
sense
it like
test.
is it like the ACT or like what kind of
Simpler.
questions are on it?
Simpler. It's like, dude, it's been 6 years since I've taken it, so it's been a little bit here.
Like basic math.
It is basic
Like
math.
Jerry has 20 watermelons, Kenny has 4. How many watermelons do they have? Type
Yes.
of questions.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it's like just common sense stuff. And then there's a couple like oddballs in there, but basically if you get above like an 87, which the scores are percentile wise, there's not like an actual score. So if you got like an 87 and higher, you can basically do whatever you want. And for the infantry, you need to get like a 35, 38, something low. You can be that brick wall and probably make it, you know.
You could be Bean Boy.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And I got a 93 or I think it was 93. It was 92, low 90s, you know. So I was like, oh, well, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Recruiter comes to the house. He's sitting here like trying to talk me into jobs. My parents are around the table. I'm sitting there and he's like, yeah, you could go fucking, you could do intel. You could get like a super secret security clearance. Go do whatever you want. You know, like basically anything in this book, free game. I was like, I mean, I kind of want to, if something happens, I think it'd be kind of cool to kick doors, you know, like this would be cool. So I went infantry and basically just surrounded by all the fellas. Great time.
Just the
But I
bros
chose
of the bros ready to
dumbest
go
job.
into it.
Basically the dumbest job you can choose is what I chose.
Dude, that's
And
a power
it was
move
great.
coming in, being the 93 guy and hanging out with the 38 guys.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Like, you're way smarter than all of them the whole time.
Not smarter. Like, so I scored better on a test, yes. But the fellas, I don't know, like, they might not be book smart, but fuck, are they street smart? Like, they know what they're doing.
Right,
so I'll
right.
give them that, you know.
Well, and just to be like growing up in Pine City, such a small town, and now you're around all these different people that have
yeah.
had different walks of life. You know, it's similar to going to college, just way more fucking badass.
Hold
and
on,
hard.
you are not going to compare college to the fucking military right now.
Dude,
I had to give the military its credit here.
it's kind of weird because when you go, you're like the minority. At least I was like complete minority. Over half of like that boot camp, they spoke Spanish. I'm just sitting there like, dude, I don't know what the fuck they're saying. It's like, it's dark. They were all trying to go to bed. They're sitting there speaking Spanish just loud as fuck in the corner. I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck. Are they talking shit or something? Like, what is going on here, you know?
Was there ever any friction between the people in boot camp? Like, is there ever any guys like
Yeah.
getting into fights in the bunkhouse or anything like that?
Yeah, but it generally it always waits till like lights go out, or
Yeah.
else if it somehow comes to the light of day while like everybody's still awake, oh, those two guys are getting fucked over by the fucking like the people in charge of us. They're getting fucked.
Did you guys ever pull any soap bars in the pillowcases or anything crazy?
What does that mean?
You ever seen
You don't know
like
what
Full
soap
Metal
bars-
Jacket?
Like beat
dude?
someone with
Yeah.
Yeah,
We didn't
dude.
like. I don't think we beat anybody. We had one guy. It's like bunk beds. There's 2 bunk beds, and then it's like a fully concrete roof. And it's got like these big beams running through it. And we had one guy like running around on the top, like jumping beds, and he hit his head on one of the beams and fell. And then he like cracked open his fucking head.
Did he get sent home?
He got pulled out in an ambulance, and then I woke up and he was there the next morning with stitches. So
That's
Not my
Marine
problem,
quality,
you know?
baby. That's the type of guy I want.
Okay,
out
so
there,
It is-
dude.
why
guy.
Marines? Like, why specifically Marines? Were you just like, hell yeah, I want to carry 100 pounds on my back and run through the mud?
So
or
this
was
gonna-
there like a deeper calling to it?
fuck no. This is gonna sound dumb, but I was like, well, I guess I've always been told like I couldn't do it, so
Yeah.
I want to do it.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
yeah. The chip on your shoulder route, I would imagine,
yeah.
is a hell of a
Well-
lot easier to get through it.
It's like almost the forbidden fruit, you know. And you see it, and it's like, well, everybody says don't do it. Everybody says it's dumb. I want to fucking do it, you know.
Yeah,
And then just somehow I ended up there, and then raps.
yeah.
is-
That makes
it-
sense to me. I would imagine some of those guys that you met, you probably still have a great relationship with.
Oh yeah,
Because you go through some of that stuff with these people that are around you. You're like family at that point.
oh
Like,
100%.
They call that, what is it, trauma bonding?
Yeah,
They
yeah,
call it
Oh, yeah.
trauma bonding?
Oh, 100%. I'm definitely trauma bonded with the fellas. You got to think you're living like, say our fucking like rooms are like the size of that living room, and you're just living next to every single one of your buddies that you see on the daily, and you just, hey, I want a drink. I'm gonna knock on fucking this guy's door. You guys just go get hammered on the catwalk. Next thing you know, like 10 minutes later, there's like 12 of you. and you're just sitting there like drinking, having a good time on the weekend. Like it is the coolest thing just living next to all of your best friends for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
And it's almost like hard to leave.
It's almost like line school.
Dude, pert near. I had a buddy that lived in the fucking apartment right above mine.
No, I get it. Yeah. No, I lived in the dorms my freshman year of college, and I think that the first, like being with all these people all the time, granted, a lot less trauma going on, I would assume. But, just being around people that are similar to you and going through the same thing as you at the same time, like that. I mean, people I still talk to regularly.
You guys are all just a bunch of little country bumpkins. Like, you're just like in the big city now.
Oh my God.
It is crazy though how close you get to people when you're in the same area and you see each other every single day.
Right.
I think what you're trying to say is it's crazy how close you get to people when you have to get close to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Well,
like high school, dude. What
You don't
percentage
have
of your high school friends do you still talk to? I talk to maybe 20% of them. Maybe.
I mean, I talk to all of my high school friends
All of them?
regularly.
Every single one?
Cody peaked in high school. So
I
that's
swear to
fine.
God,
He's hanging on to
That's
it.
still my core group of friends. It's
Maybe
all my
you just
high
didn't-
school
Maybe you
friends.
just didn't have enough friends in high school is the biggest problem.
Maybe.
You might just not have branched out enough.
I
Yeah.
mean, hey, we went to the same school. There's not a lot to pick from.
No.
Yeah, and Cody, like, he's way, way older than me, and like we already knew him as a loser. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, there's the guy that thinks he's
This is
cool.
all I could get, so I just stuck with them. They're dumb enough to stick
He settled
around,
for the
so.
bottom of the barrel. He's just,
Yeah, I think I
picking
think I have
and
a rare
choosing.
scenario though. Honestly,
do.
I don't think a lot of people hang out with their high school friends very often.
Dude,
No.
I'm in the same boat as you. My closest friends still are my high school friends, and this dumb dick motherfucker literally lives with like 4 of his high school friends.
I didn't say I didn't talk to any of them. I said percentage, dude. I didn't say any of them.
I'm sorry, I just wasn't Mr. Fucking popular like Mitch.
Sorry, I didn't know 60 fucking people, Mitch. I guess
What was the hardest adjustment during boot camp? Let me fill you in on a little secret here. We've been drinking these energy shots that we've been talking about, these Magic Mind little energy shots. There are 55 milligrams of caffeine in every shot, but it's not just caffeine. You get a lot of good stuff in this thing. Lion's mane mushroom, bacopa, cognizin, ashwagandha, L-theanine, turmeric, rhodiola, cordyceps, matcha, vitamins B2, B3, B12, C, and D. These things not only get your head right, they give you a sharper mind, lower stress, calm energy, but also these things taste freaking amazing. So really all you do is, I personally like to keep these things cold and in the fridge, but you just take this little shot every single morning and you're feeling great. They also have a new sleep product that you take before you go to bed. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good. Yeah, so you just take some of these you take a shot in the morning, take a shot before you go to bed of the sleep stuff, and bing, bang, boom, you can get rid of those shitty energy drinks. You can be more awake. You can be more focused. I personally feel like this just gets my head straight. I think clear. I edit better. I perform better. I'm in the gym. I'm pumping harder. I think this is just... it's just the way to go. And the good news is you can get a hell of a deal if you head on over to the bio of this video, click our link for Magic Mind, and save yourself a little bit of dough. Cheers.
Dude, having to do like all my shit, it was basically moving out. Like having to do all my shit myself, I guess. Like, say if something goes wrong with like my car, oh, I can't fucking call my parents anymore. This sucks. I'm in California. I just got to pay someone to do it or do it myself. Or just kind of like going to the field. That sucked. That's not ideal.
Did you ever have a day where you woke up and you just didn't want to do it that day?
Oh, 100%.
Like, where it's just like, I don't want to fucking run today.
Oh, 100%. So like the day to day, you wake up at 6 and you're sitting here in like this green little short shorts, green shirt. You go run around at like 6:30, do your morning physical like PT thing. I'd every day wake up at 6, hungover, hating my life, be like, yeah, why the fuck am I here right now? Like, realistically, what could be the worst possible thing if I didn't go right now? If I didn't walk out to go work out? Never did it, but I always thought about it.
Yeah.
And I was close. A couple times.
Oh, I
Just
bet.
sleeping
I
in.
would imagine everyone has a similar story to that. Like, no one
yeah.
really probably wants to be there doing that
No.
in the heat of it.
6:30 a.m., especially when you're hungover, who the fuck wants to wake up and go run 5 miles? Fuck that.
Yeah, that's good.
I hated it. That
That's a
part,
really good point.
not ideal.
And so once you once you get out of basic, you go into infantry and you're living in the barracks. Are you in a similar spot to where you were for boot camp? Did you?
No.
So did you have to? Where did you do boot camp, and then where were you stationed?
So, well, okay. So I was stationed like very close to where I did boot camp. So I went boot camp in San Diego. I was stationed in Camp Pendleton, California, which is right in between San Clemente and Oceanside. So about an hour and a half north of San Diego. So it's very close, same temperature, like same climate, I guess,
Sure.
but way different like scenarios, sleeping and all that wise.
So at this point, you're out of basic, and you're into more of like an everyday sustainable lifestyle of doing your 4 years. What, like, being infantry? What is your day to day looking like once you're out of boot camp at this point? You've moved on. What's your day to day like?
It's generally like wake up at like 5:45, 6ish. You go work out in the morning. Your squad leader, whoever's in charge of you, like they run you around, do whatever, like yell at you, and then you go back to your room, you shower, go grab food, then you go train. They go figure out something to do. So you do like combat lifesaver class or something. You'll sit there, crisscross applesauce, fucking taking notes, doing whatever. And then you go run around again. And then you normally get off work around like 4.
Sure,
4-ish.
so pretty a little longer than a 9 to 5, but you get a little bit of sustainability in your life at that point.
Yeah, and then there's quite a few days where you just sit in your room and do jack shit. Yeah, I'm sitting there playing fucking video games all the time, just sitting in my room.
Damn.
Nothing to do.
So sometimes
Doesn't sound bad.
Sometimes you would go on like these hikes in the mountains and
Yep.
in these state parks, and you'd have to like shit in a bag and carry it with you. When would those come up, and how long would they normally last?
You probably do like a big training event. I want to say like once every like 3-4 months, like big training events, I guess. So like Bridgeport, that was the only time that you actually had to like shit in a bag because that was a national park. So they didn't want just a ton of fucking 150 Marines shitting fucking in a very particular area, and then you have a ton of campers walking around. Holy fuck, that's a lot of shit, you know? So
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Bro, that is one thing. Like they just changed the law in Minnesota. When you're out on the ice, you can't just pee on the ice anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're not
It's
allowed
like
to piss.
That's a
You get a
thing.
ticket for it.
literally, yeah, like it's a full ticket. For
You
it.
can get a
Oh,
dog.
wow.
You can get a ticket if your dog pisses on the ice.
But
how do you clean
and-
that?
I suppose.
How do-
Don't.
Like what do you? How do you
Can't- just
avoid
can't-
that?
No,
just
you have
can't
to
piss on
pee
the
in a
ice.
bottle and then keep it, dude.
Well, what about the dog? Like
Oh,
that's
dog,
what I,
yeah, I don't
you know,
even-
that's what I think.
They
of.
can.
Like, how you-
I've never heard of anyone actually getting a ticket for it, but they can technically get you for it.
So I can pee in a bush,
Wow.
but I can't pee on the ice.
I don't know if you can
where do you
pee any
think?
pee
Where do you
in a-
think where do you think the fucking fish pee, dude?
Yeah, like what the fuck?
That's crazy. Yeah, I suppose.
I'm
I mean, I
lost.
get it, contaminating the lake and whatever else, but yeah, that seems a little overboard.
That's kind of
Well,
I
but
can understand like
that's
toilet
the
paper,
thing.
but
You go on a 1 week trip and you're in the same fishing spot, dude.
Yeah.
The piss spots
You need
get crazy.
you need a designated piss spot day one. That's always been like my plan is always to piss in the exact same spot. So then it looks like I only pissed once
Right,
the whole
right.
time, you know.
So after basic, how long before you get moved from basic to where you're stationed at? Is it immediate, or do you go
No.
home first, or?
so kind of the whole timeline is there's basic is 13 weeks, so like 3 months, give or take, like very close. And then you get 10 days of leave to like go home, fucking see all your buddies with your cool haircut or whatever, you know, walk around with your Marine sweatshirt. And then after those 10 days, you go back to whatever job you chose. So like mine was infantry, I guess. And then my job school was 2 months long. You go do those 2 months, and then after that 2 months, that's when you go to your unit. That's where you figure out where you're getting stationed. And then you just kind of stay there until whenever you get orders or the end of your contract.
Dang. Okay. I did not expect there to be any sort of a gap, I guess. I don't know
Yep.
why. I thought you just went straight to it.
I want to say right after boot camp, I was home for like 17 days or something because they had 17 days until the next ITB class. So they gave me 10 days and then a week of recruiter's assistance. So for the last 7 days of my boot camp leave, I was driving up to Duluth, I want to say twice, and then he just told me, don't worry about it. And then basically like helping recruit people.
Mm. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, dude, it was when this motherfucker would come home for a few days, it was a burden on his friends because,
yeah.
there was an expectation to let it rip.
Yeah.
I had to talk to him right before he was getting out to be like, hey, dude, it's not always like this when you get home.
I remember that conversation.
You gotta have some different expectations.
Oh yeah, we just
Also,
get
I can't keep
slammed.
up. Yeah.
Dude,
Bad.
100%. I mean, it was crazy, dude. Hable was like, I would not want to call him a pussy, but he was a total pussy going into boot camp. And then this motherfucker came home 5 inches taller, fucking ripped as fuck, 10 times the tattoos he had before.
Dude, I do remember like the small amount of partying I did with Hable in high school, and then like there was just like this 3-year gap, like or 4-year probably gap. I'm just like I never even saw him once. And he came back. I'm like, dude, you're an adult now. What the fuck happened to you?
Where'd this happen?
Yeah, facial hair and shit. What the fuck? Who are you?
Dude, he was the friend you could kind of push around, you know, and now it's like, oh, he's my protector.
No, that makes sense why you would want to go into the Marines then, honestly, if you had this kind of like you were
like
the
a stigma
smaller
around
guy. Yeah. Right. And those
Yeah.
were the badasses, and you probably didn't see yourself as that.
No. Well, I mean, that's not the reason I went. It's just, I don't know. I just kind of was like, it's like the forbidden fruit.
Totally.
I just had to have it, I guess.
Totally. When you actually got stationed to where you were going, was it what you thought it was going to be? Like,
No.
What the immediate start of like, okay, now I'm actually enlisted. What is that like?
You get yelled at a lot. You're basically everybody's bitch that deployed until you deploy.
Okay.
So like for my first, I want to say it was a 1.5 year work up to our deployment, which was just Japan. So basically just sailing around on a ship for 3 months, sitting in Japan for 3 months. Leading up until that, you're basically everybody who has did the last deployment's bitch. You just got to walk around. You got to get a dumbass looking haircut, and you just got to walk around and do whatever they say. Fucking bend the knee, do whatever.
Even if you didn't want to.
Oh, there's no choice.
Was there ever times where it was like, motherfucker, I don't.
Oh, 100%.
I know you're just making me do this because you're just doing it.
Oh, no, they would think of like just shit that they didn't want to do and thought would be funny to see you do, and then you just end up doing it.
Damn.
Well,
There's no choice.
We can cut this if you don't want it in there, but I remember you telling me a story about when you like mistitled somebody. One of your sergeants told you to mess with this captain or some sorts, and he followed you back to your room. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Dude.
Are you talking about the time that I told you that, well, this isn't me, but I told you that like some guy got arrested for hazing?
No, you told me that somebody told you to mistitle this guy. He was like a captain. You what are you supposed to say when you see somebody that's a higher rank than you?
You just call them by their title. I'm a little lost here. I don't know which story you're talking about.
I want to hear about this person getting arrested if you don't remember this.
Yeah, dude. Apparently cut everything I just
This-
said. Jesus Christ.
Well, I'm not going to lie to you. The arrested one's probably going to have to get cut because I don't know if that's still open. I'm assuming it's closed.
Okay, we can talk about it afterwards then.
Okay.
All right.
That works.
Yeah, holy hell.
It doesn't involve me at all. It's just something that happened like right before I got there.
Yeah, okay.
So
Okay,
I
so
heard definitely scared
when
the shit out of me.
When you get deployed, how long do you know, or how long of a heads up do you get before you know you're getting deployed, and how long, or in that, do they tell you where you're going?
What's like the call like? Like what information? Do they just get like a phone call, or do they like bring you into a room and tell you, or like?
No, there's like no call. It's just kind of like all the higher ups will talk about it every Friday, like before you get your weekend free. You'll get like a libo brief, and they'll always do some big speech about like, hey, this is coming up. This is why we train, you know. They'll do that.
The
sort of
rah-rah
thing.
go team.
Yep. So I mean, I knew that I was going to Japan probably 1.5 years out, like right when I got to the unit. They were like, oh, we're going on the 31st MEU and whenever, you know.
Yeah.
So you have a very long heads up, you know, but they tell you like the month and the year. They don't give you like days.
Mm-hmm.
But 1.5 years out, I don't need
So it's
days.
not like the movies where you get a call and they're like, "We're fucking rolling, let's go."
No.
Pack your bag.
No, not at all.
Pack your shit.
Not
There's
at
a
all.
fucking helicopter landing in your front yard in 12 hours.
No, that's
No.
always like the secret guys.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like there's
Yeah.
some shit going down. We
That's
need
like
you
the-
now.
What
Nope.
is the Chris Kyle movie?
American
American
Sniper,
Sniper,
dude.
where he's like at his wedding and he gets called. He's like,
Of course.
fucking rolling, boys.
Yeah. What a plot. That was a great movie too.
That was a
honestly.
great movie.
Was there specific places that you didn't want to get deployed to? Because I know, like, my stepdad was in the Air Force, and I always remember hearing other Air Force guys talk about how no one wanted to be stationed specifically in Grand Forks just because of how cold it gets. But, like, certain places overseas where it was like, don't put me there. Please don't put me there. Please don't put me there.
There's nowhere overseas that I really didn't want to go. I just wanted to get deployed, to get kind of getting fucked over with.
Yeah.
The only thing that I really didn't want to do was one of the big training events. There's Bridgeport, like the one that I went to. I went in the summer. They do a winter package in Bridgeport, and it's basically you're just camping and walking around in fucking like 10, 20-degree weather in the snow, just camping out there for like 2 weeks. I really didn't want to fucking do that.
That's just shit, dude. That'd be fun as hell,
dude. But
you're from Minnesota, boy. That's like your fucking bread and butter, dude.
You're like lineman school all over again.
See, that's what I thought. But like, it's a lot easier when you have a choice on when you can go get warm. When you don't have a choice to go get warm or like do anything that you want to do, and you're somebody's bitch while doing it. Oh fuck no.
Yeah.
No.
Makes it double,
I didn't want to go at all.
Double shitty.
Oh yeah, I was so happy I never had to
go over there and count those fucking snowflakes. Dude.
How many times?
Oh, dude, that's a real thing. It'd be like count grains of sand.
Yeah.
Like fuck that.
How many
I had a buddy
times?
tell me that he had like an instructor, or one of his like leaders or whatever. They had a fucking dump truck full of like rock, and he's like, "Go count all the rocks in the back of that dump truck right now."
No, I don't.
And he's like, and I just counted them. I counted them for like a half hour until he told me I could stop.
Dude, that half hour, that half hour is almost nice because it's like a half hour you're like unfuckwithable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like no, this guy told me to do this.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll
I get that.
I'll drag that out as long as I fucking can.
Unfuckwithable might be one of my new favorite statements.
You know,
And how
it's
long?
beautiful.
How long were you in? 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years.
How many times did you get deployed?
Once.
Okay,
Yep.
but you went to a bunch of different places.
So I went to my deployment. We flew to Okinawa, Japan, and then we were on ship and we stopped in Guam and then just went back to Japan. And then after deployment, we went on a training exercise into Australia. And I want to say that was 2 weeks. Those are the only places that I went. So 3 different countries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's sweet.
it was a great time.
When you guys flew over, were you in one of those like cargo planes where there's the whole open back area and you got to strap in and
See, I wish I could say
fucking
yes
Red
because it sounds
Nation's
so much
playing,
better.
dude?
No, it's basically like flying commercial.
Ah.
you fly to, I want to say when we flew to Japan, we went to Alaska, then to Korea to Japan. And then I want to say when we went to Australia, we went to Hawaii to Australia. And it's just commercial ass plane.
That's so
Like, it's
crazy
so
because the
nice.
way that my brain sees a map, I'm like, wait, why would you do that? And then I remember, like, obviously it looks different.
Oh yeah, dude, it makes no
but I'm
sense
thinking,
to me
like,
either.
wait a second.
Yeah.
Why would you go all the way?
Bitched you with his eyes so hard.
Fucking, this is my only bro with a fucking college degree.
I'm just thinking, like, okay, yeah, that makes
Why
sense.
would you
That
fly
makes
left if Australia's on the right?
yeah. Yeah. So at what point did you hit the wall that surrounds the world? That
ice wall, dude.
yeah, the ice wall. Since the world is flat.
God, I want to say,
Had to have been in Alaska.
yeah, it was probably Alaska.
Do you have any beef with kangaroos?
I didn't see any kangaroos, but I saw some wallabies. They're like the little shorter ones. Those
Yeah,
things are
they're
kind of
cool.
fucking scary, dude. They when you get like somewhat close, they start pounding the ground.
They're jacked as fuck, aren't they?
Oh, it's scary.
yeah, they
Dude,
look
and people-
I have
absolute
videos.
yolk.
I have a couple videos too of them like running. Shit myself.
I've heard like, oh, these wallabies and kangaroos are so cool, and then when you actually see them in person, it's like this is just a giant rat. Like it's just
Oh, 100%. It looks like a
fucking
giant
gross.
rat. What kind of weirded me out more was like the big those bats. Like I think they're the fox bats or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
We saw a
what
couple of
you're
them,
talking about.
dude.
Those
They're like
huge
fucking
things.
2 feet tall. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? What is this thing? Just hanging from a tree limb, and it's huge. And it's just a black like object, and there's like 30 of them.
Jesus.
I'm like, holy fuck!
That's
One
the-
of these is gonna eat me.
That's the thing about Australia. I feel like every time you hear a story about an animal in Australia, it's like everything over there can kill you.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah,
just
dude.
weird shit over
I've been
there.
in the loop lately of Australia, learning the history of it, and so first of all, there's different seasons in the years. Like there's these birds that will attack you depending on what time of year it is, and like you can barely go outside at this time. It's fucking crazy. And then in the history of it, where there's a huge section where Britain just sent their fucking prisoners to there. They'd be like, "Fuck, you're exiled to Australia," and then they just started their own country. Dude.
Was this
Or
like during World War
continent.
That's
II
why they're
or
all
what?
fucking dope as fuck.
I
down
don't
there.
know the exact timeline, but they were exiling people to Australia for a while. So
That's
that's why
wild.
they're fucking nuts.
So
You ever
was
see this
Australia
fucking-
a country at this point? Why were they just like letting that happen?
I think it started as a British colony.
They had
just
like their own revolution, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then
I think
that's
Australia
where,
was like the wild, wild west for a long time.
yeah,
Oh, I'd imagine.
absolutely.
Fucking cowboy shit.
And then the fucking whiteys fucking dominated it. Now they got Australia, dude. I would love to go there.
Are you on Australia TikTok at all? You know what I'm talking about?
Little
Like, there's
bit.
just like
I
these
see a little
goofy
bit.
ass Australian dudes that like just go out in the fucking bush and grab random animals and play with them. Like, oh, look at this little bugger, and he like gets bit by a snake. And he's just like 150,000 likes. He
whatever.
got bit by a snake, and he's just like, look at this thing. You know, you ever see that?
No.
There's Australia TikTok and Florida TikTok, and they're the same fucking thing.
Yeah,
dude.
I can
They just
see
go
that.
out in the wilderness and
Yeah.
grab these random animals that you
Yeah.
should never be touching.
Just a slightly
see that.
different accent. They're
Yeah.
not crazy different, I would imagine.
no, not extremely. Depending on how fucked up the Florida guy is.
It also depends on what part of Australia you're in too. I was in like the Northwest, dude. It's like fucking the desert. There ain't shit there, and it's so weird because you'll get like the weekend off and you'll be able to go into town like your first time in Australia. I'm going to a bar, and you're driving this bus into town, and they have like the Aboriginals, and they're running in the woods alongside the fucking bus.
What?
Yeah, it's fucking like it's eerie almost.
Whoa.
And they
Holy
know
shit.
shit, don't speak English. They're like speaking like their own language. It's a little eerie, and they're like the homeless people in town too. And the first couple days we were there, you get like briefed, like don't talk to these guys, like stay away. They are dangerous. Like there was like a big fight or something in town before we got there, and it was like machetes and crossbows or some shit. Like
my
it was
God.
like two different tribes in the middle of the town, like in the street.
Fucking Hotel
fucking-
Rwanda,
That's
dude.
fucking
Dude,
sweet, dude.
And you get like briefed, and you just don't go near these fuckers. One of my buddies, as we're at the bar, he like calls this guy over, and he's sitting here like talking to us in a different language, like right over this like railing of the bar, and he hops over. The owner comes over and starts like screaming at him. Like it was weird.
Whoa.
it was
like,
kinda-
hey, you can't be over there. Kind
Oh
of
yeah,
deal.
it was like
Whoa.
kicking a homeless guy out of a fucking hotel. You know,
Jesus.
It
That's
was,
insane. Give us some stories for deployment. Did you ever see anything crazy?
No, I mean,
Were you ever
basically-
in actual combat?
No,
Okay.
nope, never
I suppose
saw
there
anything
wasn't
like that.
much like crazy stuff going on while you were.
Well,
deployed.
while I was on deployment, Kabul happened.
Oh, okay.
But that wasn't my unit. That was 2-1. I was in 3-5. So they got to go over to, yeah. Well, I mean, if you want to say got to, you know, they went over to Kabul, did all that, and then that's where those 13 Marines died. And I'm sitting here in Australia, fucking drunk in my room, or not in Australia, in Japan, just drunk in my room.
Dude, that is crazy.
Drastically different experiences than you think deployment would be.
Oh, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell when you talk to someone who was in and saw some shit, you know?
yeah.
I know a few guys that's like, they don't really talk about it unless they got a few beers in them.
Yep.
There's some real trauma there for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's definitely, you can definitely tell like some of the guys that were in before me. Some of them seen some shit. Like a lot of like the higher ups, they got some fucking stories.
Oh, I would imagine.
Oh,
yeah.
especially the ones that were in Afghanistan, Iraq, doing
yeah.
multiple tours. Like,
You'll have like all
Holy
the higher ups
fuck.
that were in like Ramadi, fucking Fallujah, and they're just sitting here like, this is why we do it. And they'll come ripping with a story from Fallujah, like for POV experience. It's fucking kind of wakes you up a little bit.
Did it change your view of the world and like how different countries interact with the United States?
A little bit.
In what way?
I don't know. It's like you realize that we aren't top shit, I guess. All it takes for somebody to die is a bullet in the right place. It's not fucking. The world is simple. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In my mind, the world is simple. You get shot, you're gonna die. Like I don't know if I'm wording that right.
Like
I get what you're saying.
life feels
Yeah.
more fragile.
Yes, 100%. Life is a glass box.
I think a lot of like Americans growing up, like we have this idea in our head that like if no matter where you go, like people are just gonna respect you and like give you good hospitality, and that's not like real life.
Exactly.
Right.
Like why the fuck did nobody fucking owes you anything? Like guys talk about that all the time. They go up to Canada. Canadians aren't really that fond of Americans just being up there. You know,
Yeah,
unless
it
you're
definitely
paying them
depends where
shitloads
you
of
go,
money
yeah.
on unless you're spending money for like a service they provide or something like that, they don't
Yeah.
really give a fuck about you.
No,
Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about. We used to go bear hunting in Ontario every year, and we go like way up where like the actual roads stop, and you're on like logging trails.
Mhm.
And this reservation is that we hunt just north of is like literally in the middle of nowhere. The whole town is run on diesel generators, and if you go to the gas station to like fill up your vehicle, you tell them, you know, like these are the people that we're with, or bring them with you because there's a different price for white people versus people that are on the reservation or people that they like. And it's quite the difference.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Like double price type thing?
Oh,
or?
easy. Yeah. It went from like, let's say $5 a gallon to like $13 a gallon.
Oh, Jesus.
If they don't know you,
Well, yeah,
if they don't
yeah,
like
like-
you, if you're just a white guy passing through, like they just don't want you there.
Yeah.
You know? So
Well,
yeah,
it's
it really
like,
depends
It's like,
where you're
why
at.
would they too? Because it's like I don't. If
I don't
all
trust
if all of a
this guy.
sudden Pine City just turned into a tourist fucking attraction, why the fuck would I want a bunch of random people here? You know, like
Yeah.
it makes sense if you think about it from their perspective. But like Americans are like grow up and like are taught this like for some reason that we think that everyone owes us like
Right.
hospitality and nobody does.
Yeah, and we live a totally
very
different life than
arrogant
a lot
way
of
to
places,
fucking
for
think.
sure. Yeah, no, I totally get that. While you're on deployment, what are you eating? Like, what's the meals look like? Are you
So-
eating MREs all the time,
No.
or what is it?
No. So when we were in Japan, so we're actually staying in like barracks. You have a chow hall, and then this is gonna sound actually kind of funny, but there is a PX, and it's like basically a grocery store for like on base, and they had a fucking Popeyes in it.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, I basically survived off spicy, like crispy chicken
That's
sandwiches,
so funny.
and like I'd just get hammered with my roommate by like noon. And then we just go walk and get spicy, crispy chicken sandwiches. And that was like a damn near daily thing.
That is crazy.
But then on ship, when you're on ship, you have to, there's like a big chow hall. And I was on a big cruiser, like big airline carrier or whatever. And you'll sit in that fucking line to get lunch for 2 hours. There's like over 1,000 people on the fucking ship.
Brutal.
And it's only open for like 3. So you have to go get food. Unless you
Damn.
just don't want to eat, like you have to sit and wait in that fucking line and just suffer.
Damn.
That-
2
that's how
hours
ship
just
is.
standing
You
slowly.
ever
moving.
get to be the first guy in line?
Fuck
You
no.
ever get up close at least?
Fuck no. I'll just wait till like I had to go and just hope the line's a little bit shorter.
Yeah.
Is that reserved for like higher title people? Is
So-
there a
No, I
pecking
mean-
order to it?
Not entirely. Like, of course, the guys above you. They're just gonna tell you, "Fuck you. I'm gonna go in front of you." They'll do that. But like all the really higher ups, they have their own place to go. This is all for basically bottom of the barrel bitches. You go sit in the main line.
For the Sam Chris of the world.
Yep, exactly.
Just like lineman school, dude.
I remember sitting in them lines, dude.
So
Fucking
your
brutal.
your 4 years goes up. You were deployed for 6 months. You
Yep.
said. Okay, you're and that was a year and a half into it. You were deployed for 6 months.
Yeah, right around there.
So
Give
now
or
you're
take a
sitting at
month
about
before,
2.5 years total. What did you do for the other year and a half before you got
Well,
out?
I probably only had. I mean, you got to add in boot camp and ITB in there, so that's another
okay.
5 months. So that counts as time, and then it's a year and a half workup. So, say I'm almost 2 years in after deployment, I have probably a year and a half left, and then it's just kind of I stayed in that infantry unit for probably a year, and then when I told them that I didn't want to go on the next deployment, I wanted to get out and go to like school. They basically shipped me out to a different unit. They shipped me out to regiment, and then I was there and just rotted for like my last 6 months.
Really?
Yep.
Now the whole time, like from the start of basic training, are you getting paid that whole time?
Oh yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
well, it's not a
what is?
lot.
I was gonna say, what's like? What do they start you at when you're in basic? What do you get?
God, like a private, I want to say makes like $1,200 to $1,400 a month. Like and you get paid every other week. I want to say in boot camp when I got out, they just pay you. You can't really spend money, so it's kind of nice. But I want to say when I got out of boot camp, I had like $3,300 to my name,
Dang.
and I'm like, oh, I thought I was rich.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I suppose.
Dude,
I mean,
after you
whatever.
came back from deployment, did you get to like bitch people that hadn't been on deployment yet? Did
Yeah.
you play
Oh,
that
yeah.
card quite a bit?
Oh, 100%.
That'd be the only like reason that I wanted
You
to
would
do
take
it.
way too much
Oh
advantage
yeah,
of that.
absolutely. That's the kind of person I am.
Dude, you almost have to.
If I got bitched even one time before I got deployed, I came back, I ruined everyone's life.
Well,
about it.
you have to think about it this way. Like, you've been bitched around for the last year and a half. You,
Yeah.
you want
Oh,
to get
yeah.
some of that back.
Yeah, I'm getting
Yeah,
it all
totally.
back. I'm getting way more than enough back.
You want some interest on it.
Yeah, I'm
you
taking
know?
it infinitely too far. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna be the worst.
You're going to be the one to go to jail for hazing.
Yeah, for
you know?
sure. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
It's like the kid that was a fucking loser and then becomes a teacher and takes it out on the new cool kids
Oh,
growing
you mean
up.
every teacher ever, dude? Yeah, I'm fucking in on that. Why do you think I hate them guys?
They see old Mitchy boy walking in, they're like, I'm fucking ruining this kid's
Yeah.
day.
This kid's getting sent to the hall immediately, dude. So I got beef with teachers. They're all fucking nerds.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to get out then?
I just didn't see like a full career in it. I wanted to come back home. I don't know. I just didn't see like I couldn't see myself doing it for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
And I could kind of see myself like coming back home. I couldn't do the things that I wanted out there. I couldn't kind of just go outdoors whenever I wanted. I was living on base. I didn't want to live in fucking Southern California for the next 20 years. And I just kind of wanted to move back home. Well, not home, but like move back like roughly in the general area and actually kind of start something. I wanted to buy a house, buy a nice vehicle.
Yeah.
Can't really do that out there.
Right. Yeah. Have something. Yeah. No, I
Have
I get
something that's mine. You know?
Yeah. No, I get that.
So one thing you hear a lot about guys in the military is they get married to somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Just because like you get paid more, you get to live out of the barracks. Did you ever consider like, fuck?
Oh, me and the homies almost got married a couple times. We'd like talk about it.
Little Chuck and Larry action.
Oh, 100%. But you don't even have to fake it. Everybody just knows. And they're just like, all right, well, all right, whatever.
Rules are rules, dude.
Oh, 100%. And we had 2 guys actually do that in our unit too. And they got married. They got a house on base. And since they were both in, they both give up like half their BH for that house, then still have their half just going to their wallets. And then also you get comrades, which is like for the chow hall. If you're married, you don't get it. It just goes to your bank account. It's an extra like $300 a month. So it's like, all right, well, fuck it. It's like $2 to go to the fucking chow hall. I'm not going to the chow hall to actually use enough to $300.
You got to call up the old hometown fling, get her to move over.
Dude, I should have.
I'd have moved out there for you, dude.
I would have appreciated it.
Yeah. You dropped out of line
looking
school.
for, dude. If you'd have called me mid-December and said you wanted to get married in Southern California, I'd have been.
You know what I should have just did? I should have just called you, said, hey, I'll give you $300 a month just to marry me on paper.
Yeah.
You can stay in Minnesota, work, do whatever you want.
Oh no, I'd came out and totally took advantage of everything that you had going on. I've been playing your video games, jerking off in your house. Like, yeah. No, if I'm marrying you, dude, I'm getting wife treatment. Okay, I'm not
You're
some
a stay-at-home
whore.
mom. You know,
yeah. I'm not some whore that you have back home, dude.
So when you tell them that you're not gonna re-enlist, I don't want to go on the second deployment. Do they actively try to recruit you to stay in, or are they just like, well, fuck, this fucker's done, we'll just let him be?
It depends if you're a piece of shit or not.
Yeah. I would imagine they prod you a little bit.
Oh,
Like,
why?
Why do you want to leave?
I got prodded quite a bit. You just get basically asked just every day, are you sure you don't want to, like, hey, we'll give you this special treatment on next deployment, you know, like,
Yeah.
I'll buy you a hooker or something. You know?
All right, I'll
This
do
is where our
4
tax dollars are going.
Oh, it would have
You're
been
way stronger than me, dude. I'd have fallen for that immediately.
You'd have folded?
Oh, I'd have fell for that. No, I wouldn't even negotiate it. I'd be like, ah, fuck.
Well, I guess if I have to, where's the papers?
Yeah.
Fucking Okinawa it is, dude.
Mitch is in the service for another 40 years.
Dude, keep tricking me with hookers, dude. They're so smart.
If you had to like describe your day-to-day life outside of deployment, what is that like while you're actually enlisted?
That was where you wake up at like 5:45. Are you talking about that? And like you
Yeah.
go work out in the morning and
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just every couple months you go do a big training like exercise or whatever, but then every
And
day.
do they do like different things every training exercise? Like this time we're working on this, or is it just like
It's like you're ramping up to deployment, if that makes sense. Like
Okay.
You're doing like harder and harder stuff, I guess. So like the first couple like training exercises, they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go out, sleep in the fucking backyard for 3 days and go shoot this range. But then when you're getting closer to deployment, right before deployment, you have to do a thing called ITX. It's 2 months in just the desert of fucking Eastern California. And you're shooting like live ranges with like rockets, with fucking machine guns. Like you're actually shooting live ass ranges.
Being a Call of Duty guy, I'm sure you knew a lot of the weapons going in. It was,
Yeah.
You'd think so. You'd think so.
but I'm sure you've pretty much shot everything you've ever wanted to shoot. I'd assume.
For the most part, yeah.
Have you ever been in a tank or anything like that?
Marine Corps doesn't use tanks. That's the Army.
Oh, that's pussy shit. On. We don't need.
I am
tanks,
the fucking
brother.
tank, brother.
We got Mitch. We got Mitch for it. You know?
Give me a fucking hooker, dude.
Give Mitch a hooker, he'll find one. You know?
not one bullet that's gonna pierce this guy with that much blood running through
and
him?
a fucking bottle of sake, dude, and I'm fucking good to go.
His skin's getting hard just thinking about it. Jesus. If someone was considering going into the service right out of high school and they say, I want to be a Marine, what would you say?
I'd say if you want to do it, do it. It's definitely a learning experience. I mean, of course, as you guys knew me before, I fucking grew up quite a bit from it. I feel like it's night and day difference who I was before and who I am when I came out, you know? So if you actually want to do it, I'd say go for it. I think it's a great opportunity.
Well, dude, I mean, just from being from the outside looking in, being your friend, like you decided not to go to college right out of high school. You were working a non-union construction job for like $14 an hour.
Yep.
And then you said, fuck this, dude. This can't be my future. And now 4 years later, you're going to trade school for free.
Yep.
You already have a great fucking, what's it called? Internship, you know,
Yep.
that you're leading towards. Like, you are a great example that I've seen of like, fuck, you do your 4 years. It really helps set a motherfucker up.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm about to get my associates, this May? And then I already got accepted my job at that internship, and I just start out right as soon as I graduate or whatever I want.
Like, to never have to see a student debt bill. Like,
Oh, yeah,
fuck,
it's nice.
dude.
That's crazy.
Well, and you get paid to go too. You get this thing called BAH. It's your basic allowance and housing just for showing up. It's super nice, and it goes off like the average cost of an apartment in Minneapolis or wherever your school is. They just pay you that much.
I've seen that. Like, I feel like all the guys that I went to school with that were previous military all drove home for that reason. They're like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not going to get an apartment because they're paying for way more than my fucking gas.
Oh yeah.
Now, if shit goes down, like if the world starts going crazy,
If you get the call at your
are
wedding,
you
dude,
are you one of the first people that they're calling back?
Like
Like, is there a
I would-
grace period afterwards where like you're not the top priority?
it'd have to be pretty bad, but basically, so when you sign up, you sign an 8-year contract. It's 4 years active and 4 years inactive.
Okay,
So I'm in my 4 years inactive reserves. So basically, before a draft would happen, they'd call back the inactive reserve. So
Yeah,
that
okay.
would be me. And it's not a fucking name draw. It's just go.
yeah.
I'm in that point, but after I want to say I have 2.5 years left, then it's just done.
Civilian mode, baby.
Oh yeah.
Back
Well,
on our
I feel like
level,
I'm already in it.
motherfucker.
That's nice.
what if that was up and then they called you and then they were like, you can go fucking kick doors, dude? Would you fucking do it?
Well, I don't have a choice. It'd be kind
No,
of
I'm saying after. I'm saying after.
I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know,
Dude,
like,
if-
you trained so much.
If you
to go
weren't
do
obligated
something.
to do it, if you didn't have to do it, you still would be like, fucking, let's get it.
Well, it's kind of weird because you train for 4 years to go do something, then you don't get to do
Yeah.
it. You got to think about it that way.
It's like getting cucked. Yeah.
Mitch,
I
Mitch,
hear
when
you
you went
just
to
gotta-
lineman school, if you never got to touch,
oh,
like
I'd have
electricity,
been fucking crushed.
that's
dude.
what I'm saying.
I'd have been absolutely fucking crushed.
That's me.
Yeah, I just feel like a fucking dumb civilian bitch, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, here we go.
Now you just got to bully your friends and
Yeah.
take the training out on them. Yeah, my dad actually, he did 4 years in the Army, and then Desert Storm kicked off when he was in the reserves, and he got called in to go to war, and he was back. Like, you have to do a couple weeks of training before they actually deploy you, and it ended while he was doing his training, so he never had to go.
Damn.
But I asked him, I'm like, were you kind of like, I was pretty young, I just got into Call of Duty, and I'm like, were you like excited? And he's like, fuck no, are you fucking stupid? You know, like, that was the first time it hit me, like, oh fuck, war is not Call of Duty.
Sam, I feel like you would have asked Eric if he knew Captain Price. I feel like that's what you
hell
would have
yeah.
did.
I don't even know Captain Price.
From
Call of Duty guy.
Call of Duty, dude.
Like the story.
I don't play the fucking story. Do you think I'm a nerd?
Yes, I do.
Fucking team deathmatch, baby.
I'm not a nerd, dude. I just play the fucking Harry Potter video game.
Sam, what's the 5th movie in the Harry Potter franchise?
Oh, Order of the Phoenix. Yeah, you know, I am a trained wizard. I do know multiple spells. So if you really want to disrespect me, you can fuck around and find out.
Sam, I
He's gonna Specto Patronum your ass right out of this.
want to say the last time we were drinking, like, I was just driving him home, and he just randomly said Reverso, and I was like, "What are you doing?" Like-
Dude, fuck all of you. Dude. I fucking love Harry Potter. Dude. I've been on a Star Wars kick now. I'm full nerd, fucking degenerate loser.
Is it because I
myself.
said something about it? Was that on air when I asked you if Star Wars nerds or Harry Potter nerds were worse, or was that off air?
It was off air, and I had already started the.
So I was really striking a
immediately-
nerve. I didn't even know what I was saying. Dude. I'm sorry.
I was like, fuck, Harry Potter's done. I got to nerd out on something else. Went to Star Wars. And then, dude, I watched an Avengers movie. I really fucking.
Oh, no.
I was like, I'm going Marvel now, baby. And
Oh, no.
I cut it. I dropped it. The nerd shit's done. I'm back to being a man. I'm back to, fucking broads and working out. And
Cranking beers. Yep.
I'm thinking about joining the Marines. I don't know yet.
Yep.
Well, you got, 2 years left till you got to make a decision, so.
I got to get on Ozempic and make her happy. Maybe.
Is there certain requirements when you're doing your PT stuff that you have to meet while you're
Like
in?
to get in?
Yeah. Like, do you have to run a mile in a certain amount of time or be a certain weight or your BMI be a certain way? Or
Yeah, so you have to, they got like this janky ass thing. If you're 6 foot, you have to be between these weights. They got something like that. Then you have your physical fitness test and your combat fitness test. So like your PFT and CFT. And each of them are like 3 different events, and you have to score at least a certain number on all of them to be able to kind of, well, you're going to stay in, but then without kind of doing a ton of extra physical shit, like in your off time.
And how much of a pain? Like, could Cody do it right now?
Yeah, Cody could probably do it.
Think so?
Too old.
He's fit
He's too
and
fit and
handsome.
handsome. Yeah.
Too
You are
old.
old as fuck, but
too old.
you don't. There's no.
Wouldn't let me
like-
in. Called
Yeah.
yesterday.
Hey, you
Said
could,
no.
you could join the what's that shit that they do around town? Everyone makes fun of them.
National Guard.
Yeah, dude, you could National Guard that shit up.
You probably could right now.
I mean, what do they actually? What does the National Guard do?
First of all, I don't
Do you go?
condone
You still
making
have to
fun
go
of
through.
them.
You still have to go through basic for National
Yeah.
Guard.
I believe so.
Really?
Correct. Yeah.
Expected a little more now.
My
I'm
step-
in for
Were
it.
you-
my
did you
stepbrother's
think they
girlfriend
did
was in the
nothing?
National Guard and they deployed her to fucking Iraq, dude.
What?
No shit.
yeah.
She's saltier
Damn.
than I am.
Yeah.
She
I
could
don't know.
bitch me.
She's
I'm
yeah,
just saying.
probably. She's like 5'1", so I wouldn't get bitched if I was you. But
Well,
do your thing, dude.
I didn't go to Iraq. Did you?
No, dude.
Then she can bitch you.
I'm not in the military, Logan.
That's kind of the thing here.
Well, then she already can right off the rip.
yeah.
No
that's
matter
true, dude.
what.
Yeah.
I think it gives me a different respect for it for sure. I mean, obviously, I've known people that have been through basic and been deployed and whatever, but
Mm.
I don't think that I've ever really understood the dynamic of like what the life is like.
Yeah, there's just a big hierarchy, and it's basically if you're at the bottom, you're a bitch. And that's basically all it is. You do whatever the people above you say to do.
I imagine that just never stops, though.
No.
Just the tasks are less tedious the higher you get,
Oh yeah. So like,
because there's always going to be someone above you.
yeah,
so
there's
like, are
your
all the
chain of
guys at the
command.
top like egomaniacs? Like that's the like. Do you think that played a factor in why they stayed in the military to like just be like, I'm
Dude.
not gonna get bitched anymore?
Some of them. Some of them I could definitely see that. Most of them are like kind of act like dads, but they don't have children. You are their children, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know.
Were there guys like you'd think to yourself like if I outranked you, I would beat the fuck out of you right now? Like, did you have any older bullies? Anyone that was really looking down on you?
I mean, like, not entirely, because most people that bitch you were on deployment, and all you do on deployment is drink and work out. So 9 times out of 10, when you come back from deployment, you're bigger than you were when you joined at 18. So I'm sitting here getting bitched around by a ton of drunk 21-year-olds. I'm 18. I can't fucking fight anyone. I'll get my fucking ass whooped.
Yeah, right.
So I'm just kind of Casper. I'm sitting in the corner, fucking trying not to get noticed.
That adjustment of being just a feral motherfucker in the barracks to living back with your parents again in
Oh,
a
yeah.
normal civilization, you're like, that had to be an adjustment right off the bat.
Oh yeah. It is a night and day difference, because now I can't go knock on the door next to me and, hey, you wanna go get hammered? I mean, it's noon.
You could. You just go
You
knock
could.
on your dad's
You
door
could,
when you
for
get
sure,
home.
dude. You must
Hey,
have grew up in a
dude.
different household than me, dude. My dad come party.
I've watched my dad drink. Probably I could count it on one hand in my life.
Oh,
You
damn.
know? So that
Maybe
not
you
a
can get
chance
him back
hell.
into it.
I don't think he was ever
Get him
into it,
started
you know?
up.
You're like, hey,
You get back
Pops,
home from
You can
deployment.
teach him a new hobby.
You're hammered at noon on a Saturday. Hey, Dad, you want to go hit the strip club?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
You want to go to bar?
You can teach an old dog new tricks, dude. Don't let him tell you.
We don't have to tell mom, you know. I'm just saying.
you ever drink with a Marine before?
Do you think you get different treatment from people around you after being in the service?
I get a hell of a-
Obviously, you've changed a
Well,
lot, but
It's like anytime we get drunk, I just get bombarded with questions.
yeah. You ever kill
Basically
anyone?
every question that we've asked on here so far, I have probably heard 30 times.
Yeah.
Particularly just from Sam.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to bet every time we drink, he
I'll
asks
start
me
just
these
rapid
questions
firing
every
them,
day.
Oh, so you're just having a horrible time right now. I'm sorry that we did this to you, dude.
I was getting back flashes from Sam blacked out in my backseat. You know?
Dude, I just love it, man, because like I just fucking played so much Call of Duty, you know. What were care packages like?
He
But
never
you
got
don't know
one.
who Captain Price is.
He wasn't in combat. He didn't get a score streak.
Oh damn, dude.
Yeah, I never hit my 5 kills.
You never got to release the dogs, dude.
Nope, no UAV,
Dude,
nothing.
that would be insane in real life. Fucking dogs.
I don't think that's what they do.
Dude, you never played Black Ops,
Dude, I never got to send
dude.
out a swarm. I was so sad.
You never
Yes.
seen them dudes that fucking coyote hunt with dogs? They got the fucking button that releases the dogs
Dude.
out of the back of the truck.
No, I haven't seen
Dude, it's
that.
badass.
dude,
they got
they're
like 9
greyhounds.
kennels in the back of their fucking
Is it
truck, and they hit
all
a
the
button
doors
and all the
open?
doors fucking slide open. The dogs just take off.
Dude, Cody,
That would be
It's like
crazy.
real life Call of Duty, except you're killing coyotes.
you just got to
instead of
imagine like
fucking
9
Nazis.
greyhounds running after this dog half its fucking size.
Yeah.
Dude,
it is
that's
so
crazy.
cool.
That's insane.
I'll show you a
Will they
TikTok,
just
dude.
hunt it down and kill it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of sweet.
Fuck.
It'll be like
Yeah.
a 45-second chase of just greyhounds running after this fucking coyote. It is
Yeah.
sick.
You just go coyote hunting, you don't even bring a gun. The
Dude,
dogs are
no.
the gun.
My head goes to like, what is the training like for each of those dogs, dude? That would
Dude,
Can't be
that's
that
a
hard,
full-time
dude.
job.
Teach them how
Yeah.
to kill shit.
Oh, dude, hunting dogs live a tough motherfucking life, man. They get no love. You can't make them like your pet. You know, you grew up around hunting
Oh,
dogs,
yeah.
especially if they're hunting other fucking dogs, dude.
Well, it was always different at our house. We always had like 1 or 2 like main dogs, 1 or 2 hunting dogs that were like our family dogs.
yeah.
You know. But yeah, the other dogs, it's like they're kind of just a utility. You know.
If
They're
you
kinda
want a
just
really
like
good hunting dog, they cannot be your friend.
No.
I guess that's just what I've heard from
I don't know.
trainers.
I
but-
disagree with that because
Well-
all the guys with like championship dogs that I know, like that's their kid. They're in
Yeah,
their
no,
bed,
I don't believe
like
you.
they hang out, like that's their family pet. Second, first, but they're the hunting dog.
I feel like it's just dependent on who your trainer is and how you kind of bring them up.
100%.
Because you can bring it up to where, yeah, this dog's going to sleep outside its whole life, but it's going to be fucking good at finding pheasants.
Yeah, totally.
Dude,
It's independently. Every single person, I would assume, just trains their.
I think
dogs
you're thinking
differently.
like sheepdog, dude. You can't be friends with sheepdogs.
And I'm
Them
thinking
things gotta
like-
sleep outside.
like coon hunting,
defend the
dude.
fucking-
You ever seen raccoon hunting?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
my dad used to do it.
That
We did it
shit
when I
is
was a kid.
Unreal, man.
See you later, TCAP.
Especially I've been like doing it with an older dog. He's not as tough anymore, and like sometimes you don't know who's gonna win the fight, dude. Raccoons are tough motherfuckers.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever get to go like hunting or fishing when you were on deployment?
Nope. Well, I went on a fishing charter, yes, in Japan. Me and like 10 other buddies, we all pitched in, got this little charter, and we were catching fucking tuna and mahi.
Oh, dude, I was just gonna ask
That's
you
cool.
call some mahis, dude. That's badass.
Oh, yeah. I got some pictures I can show you guys after this. It's pretty fun.
That's sweet. Yeah,
I-
that'd be fun. Can you? No, you get the weekends off, right?
Yeah. Well,
you
it
can,
depends if you're on like a field op or not.
Oh, okay,
So,
but if you're on the ship, it doesn't matter. You're not doing anything.
if you're on the ship, I basically didn't do shit anyways. You just sleep, fucking try to find a way to waste 3 months away.
So attack on the weekends.
Oh, yeah.
Noted.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
10 fucking 4, dude. What the hell?
Or Christmas, dude. I've always been planning her out. You never know. Now I'm not even talking America. You don't know, dude.
Yeah.
I might reverse Pearl Harbor that shit.
Dude, didn't the Canadians do some super fucked up shit on Christmas in like World War II? Is that a story that I've heard before?
Sam
I'm
would
not-
know.
I'm
Where
not
they
sure,
were
to be
like,
honest.
it was like Christmas, and they were like throwing fucking food into the trenches, and then they just start throwing grenades in the trenches.
I'm not
so
sure,
they,
but I
like,
wouldn't
scatter
doubt
for
it.
the food.
Sam's a big
I
World
have-
War II guy.
I have heard that like during Christmas is like they'll do a ceasefire where everybody gets together.
Well, there's like a
kinda-
bunch of pictures from World War II of that happening. I want to know who. I don't think it was the Canadians though. It was the Germans and someone, and
Dude.
they like had like a fucking Christmas feast. They just like piled all their fucking rations together, and they were just sitting out there eating and hanging out.
I've been watching some pretty crazy World War II footage, and I want to give some credit to the Canadians because they were bad motherfuckers in World War II, dude.
Dude, they're like fucking the war crime fucking masters. They're like
Canadians?
half the Geneva Convention's written after the fucking Canadians, dude.
Good
They're
God.
fucking animals.
Really?
Yeah, they're dogs, dude.
Dude, you wouldn't guess that now.
I know. They're soft as fuck. Fucking Trudeau. He's such
Yeah.
a pussy, dude. He made that place so soft.
Dude, that's why we gotta
He's out.
buy them, dude.
He's out.
We
He
gotta
stepped
buy him.
down.
We gotta buy him out, dude.
Buy him
He
out.
was scared of daddy coming home, dude. He had to fucking bail.
The Panama Canal, the Gulf of Mexico, Canada, it's all ours, dude.
Dude, okay, I mean it's pretty late, so I'm late in the episode. I'm willing to get into it, but Trump's inauguration speech was so fucking electric, dude. I had never even heard him talk about turning the Gulf of Mexico into the Gulf of America.
Oh, dude, that's been a big thing for a couple
I was
months
really
now.
feeling it that morning. I was like, yeah, fucking represent, baby.
Oh my god.
Just the fucking goosebumps, dude.
Who the fuck called it Mexico, dude? Fucking Gulf of America. I'm all in, dude. I loved it. I really wish, I was hoping we could do an outro, but our wonderful guest.
Yeah, he's just
Need a bathroom
just
break.
took off pissing, dude.
He
We
Caspered us.
did do an hour and 10-minute episode with no piss break. We
What
haven't
if he?
ran that.
What if he just Irish goodbye to us? He's just leaving right now.
That'd be
It'd
legendary.
be a Marine move, dude.
Just
They
dips
always
out.
keep you
He tipped the
guessing.
zip line out the window.
That would be a legendary exit, dude. Just get up. Don't
Oh, he's
say a
coming
word.
back. He's coming back.
Him and fucking
We thought you
Goggins
Irish
are
goodbye
going
us,
for a
dude.
run.
All right, boys. Well, what do you think we wrap this thing up? Hable, is there anything that you wanna bring up before we wrap this thing up?
To be honest, I got nothing.
Well,
I
thanks
think you guys hit a ton of the main points here.
Thanks for coming in.
Do you have any questions for us?
Shut up.
Yes.
Shut up.
Yeah, fuck you, Sam.
Oh, buddy, thank you so much for coming on. I hope these youngins learned a little bit. Maybe we'll even get a couple new recruits because of you.
Yeah, you
I
can
better
hit
get a fucking cut if you join.
Yeah, you can hit our referral code in the bio for the Marines. On tap 10 for 10% more pay on your enlistment. Next episode is actually going to be all about going through the dynamics of line school and how hard that is. And
We already did that, dumbass. That was my first episode ever.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming on, Hable.
I appreciate you guys having me. Wow. That was
Absolutely,
Thanks
brother.
for listening.
Thank you.